Bard is complicated. Apparently, Bard is complicated. I have not played Bard in very long time. If you'd like to see the video, here you go. Bard is almost in the category, for me, as casters. It just doesn't exist anymore. Bards have to actually compose music. Now, that's true. Bards are useful for one thing, composing music. Bards are so good in Stormblood. Okay, Bards were like the most OP back in 2.0 when you had one Dragoon, double Bard, maybe even triple Bard. They were going absolutely ballistic in Titania arena. Just stacking Bards, amazing. You be the disemboweled bitch for your Bard, okay? That used to be my job. Bard's a dead class, yeah. Now it is. Might as well be. Literally unplayable. Unplayable. Bard just doesn't exist anymore. But let's see what Lucy has to say about it.
Huh? What are you looking at, kid? What? Just because I'm wearing this, you think I'm gonna sing you a silly little song? I'm retired, bucko. I'm here to get wasted, not to make you Dance Dance Revolution. Oh, is that 2K
Yo,
Guild?
what?
These are hard times, kid. My in-room shenanigans have left me with no choice.
2K?
Fine. Let me tell you a tale from my youth. There once was a demon went to see if she would like FF14. An archer picked the story goals, meant her DPS really blowed. Soon did she drop this main and learn to love herself again. One day when the job makes sense, she'll pick back up the bow. Oh, you're still here. Man, I thought the cringe would scare you away, but you're pretty tough, aren't you?
That was a banger.
That's a sea shanty. Not exactly on brand, but hey, bards are the type of people who will go ham on the harp while the ship goes down. Not to comfort other people, just to flex their ability to play in stressful situations. While we were screaming in terror, the bards were doing the caramel dancing. We are no match for their power. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Lucy, bard isn't even that bad. Why did you waste a video on this? And the other 50% of you are thinking, Lucy, you're finally talking about how terrible Bard is. Nice. And because...
Okay, here's my answer to that. I'm just going with what everyone else is saying and saying Bard is bad. Hey, there's not a lot of Bards out there now these days, okay? There's a few of them, but there ain't much. And I don't really know the difference between any of the other things, but I will tell you. Dancer gives me big numbers. And Machinist does big numbers. What does Bard do for me? They might as well not exist. There you go.
of that split, this video was not titled Suffering, because being a bard is a lot like being in a semi-abusive 7th grade relationship. The good times are so good, you feel on top of the world. You feel cool, the same way you did when you first snorted a Smartie at recess. And the bad times make you want to commit unalive by slicing your tongue.
You know what's sad? Sorry, I didn't mean to stop for this, but snorting a Smartie at recess. I did something really stupid in high school. We were sitting in chemistry class, and I needed a breath mint, and my friend had an Altoid, and it was a cinnamon Altoids. For whatever reason, I thought it was a smart idea to crush it up and sniff it in the middle of class. Thankfully, the teacher wasn't around and didn't think it was like drugs or something. But for whatever reason, I crushed up the fucking cinnamon Altoid and sniffed it. My nose felt like it was on fucking fire, and I will never do that again. Don't do that.
Off with a bowstring. And in commemoration of their pain, I will chronicle their confusing history for all to see. Seriously, mating Bard is such a strong act of masochism, it should be considered a form of public ERP and a bannable offense. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yoshi P, do not at me. Welcome, Trap.
Wait, what did that say?
For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yoshi P, do not at me.
Note, are we banned or are we dancers? Okay.
Welcome, traveler. How's it going? What's that? You think I should tune my harp? I'm gonna level with you, my guy. I have no idea how to use this thing, much less tune it. Is that
That's
something
good enough.
You do?
That's
You
like
tune harps?
50% of them.
What do you do for a living? Huh? What do I do? now that you mention it, I really don't know. All the way back in A Realm Reborn, I think I knew who I was. I knew I was a hot take. I knew not everyone would agree with my direction, but I was confident. I would be the weirdest version of Bard that gamers had ever seen, and I would make it look good. But in Heaven's
Bloodletter
Word,
was fucking
I began
cool,
to
okay?
doubt. I saw Summoner and Black Mage, and they were so cool. Maybe I should be more like them, I thought. I tried to do that, but that's just not me. So Storm...
Okay, I'm sorry, I actually did like Heaven's Word Bard. I know a lot of people don't like casting as Bard and Machinist, but I actually thought it was fun, okay? I enjoyed it. Bowmage was pretty fucking good, okay? It was fun to play, at least for me. I know there are so many people that don't like it, but I didn't mind it because it wasn't as bad as playing Black Mage. I think that was the key. It wasn't as bad as playing Black Mage when it came to casting. It's not as good as, like, Samurai casting. Because Samurai casting is, like, you know, just the right amount. But it was in a better spot. And it actually wasn't that bad to play. At least for me. But the ultimate Bard was just spamming the shit out of Bloodletter in 2.0 for sure. Like, I don't think anything beats getting like super fucking lucky on your like ticks of like when the Bloodletter would refresh and just spamming Bloodletter. The Bloodletter part is like was like really fucking cool, okay? Because you could get in a situation where you could just get this burst of amount of Bloodletters that just like constantly you could just use over and over and over and over again if you got really, really lucky with procs, but it was complete RNG, and I think some people didn't like that. And it was like more of you relying on really, really hard RNG, because like Bard would sometimes like just have insane DPS all of a sudden because they get lucky, and some people don't like that. Yeah.
Blood came, and I wanted to embrace the things that really made me who I am, but different, with a little more spice this time around. So I turned my songs into my rotation, which meant I was living my best class fantasy life with constant songs playing. And I still had access to refresh for support. I felt whole. I felt like myself again. But just when things were looking up, Shadowbringers happened. And I was cast down from heaven by the anime protagonist transfer student.
Bard was good in
Dancer.
Shadow.
I got mugged.
In
robbed
Stormblood.
of every penny I was worth by some ditz in red. I've lost so many players, it feels like no one...
Wait, why is Bard the second least played class right now? Because, I'm sorry, playing music is cool and all, but having someone personally lap dance for you is way cooler and giving you a big, big DPS boost.
one loves me anymore. I used to be so popular, so simple, so beloved by new and veteran players alike. I just don't know what happened. And the changes coming in Endwalker, I'm not sure if it's enough. I ask myself, what is it that the devs want from me? What's their goal? And no one talks about this, but why did they delete this beautiful, flashy, overdramatic, perfectly Bard aesthetic skill, but
Oh,
kept this
that is
animation
probably
for quick
really
knock?
cool skill.
What? Who made that decision? Who is responsible?
That
I
was
just
a
wanna
really,
talk.
really
Huh?
cool one.
You
Wide volley was really fucking cool, yeah.
only wanted to know my name. Oh, well, that's easy. My name is Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Ro... Welcome to Heaven's Word. We have
legend
dragons, we have
Bowmage.
anti-church plot lines. The favorite expansion of many, but definitely not the favorite of the bards and machinists in the audience, for one very understandable reason. Featuring one of the top contenders for worst job decisions made by the devs, we have the revolutionary idea to make the ranged DPS casters instead. Wonderful job, guys. I'm sure the people who mained Bard in 2.0 are ecstatic with this change. Let's take the class Gnome
I was
for its
perfectly
mobility
fine
and
with it
versatility and make
when I
it a
played
turret
Bard,
with
but
no
I didn't
auto
play it that
attacks.
much.
Genius. Well, as you can expect, it did not go over well. I was here for this cringe mechanic, so let me explain the gist of it to you. You know what?
Wait. They had that much feedback on the forums? That's fucking crazy. That's actually insane. Holy crap. The red Bard, they broke my job. Page 175. Oh my god. That's intense. Unless this is how many pages it actually is.
Let me explain the gist of it to you. You know Wanderer's Minuet? It's cool enough now, but once upon a time,
Wanderer's
it was a skill that
Minuet
gave
is super
all of
cool
your
now.
GCDs cast bars in exchange for more damage, which, in the initial 3.0 patch, did not actually give you more damage, because they never accounted for the ridiculous amount of autos that Bard can get without having it on. Then they fixed it to do more damage than autos, which was their way of digging their heels in the sand and demanding we just get used to it. It was bizarre. I felt like I was being gaslit, like I was telling the devs, I like Bard because it's simple, fast, and mobile. And they just slapped me in the face with 3 slices of moldy bologna and said, no you don't. In fact, I blame this entire decision from my current status as a healer main. I quit Bard and Heavensward specifically because of this change and started playing Scholar instead, which...
Okay, you probably made a good decision, Lucy, though, because Scholar has been, like, the best off healer, or, like any healer. You just fit the Scholar in, okay? You always put the Scholar in. Not so much now, but in the past, it definitely was the case. Scholar used to be the most OP shit ever. Has Scholar never not been meta? Is Scholar really meta right now? I don't feel like Scholar's meta right now, is it? Is it optimal right now to use Scholar? Okay. At one point, I thought it was White Mage Astro for part of this expansion. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought there was a point in time when Scholar wasn't.
only put me down another path of suffering. You gotta think about the ripple effect here, guys. Who else was pushed into the thankless healer role by the legend of Bowmage? How many of us suffer in
Yo,
silence?
Bowmage is in
You
chat
think
sometimes.
You have trust issues? No one has trust issues like bards who were there since 2.0. And if you have any bard friends, make sure to tell them thank you for your service. I could sing you a song about playing bard, but I'll spare your ears. Instead, take this dramatic poem reading. I have no quality of life. Instead, just a lifetime of strife. I long for the embrace of a knife. Love Bard, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
What
Bard
the
used
fuck?
to be extremely brain
This
dead.
squiggly?
Every so often, you would wake up to use your bloodletter proc and then go back to sleep until your next opportunity to refresh dots. We've already complained about Heavensward, but Stormblood changes almost made up for it. Yo, this Bard was fun to me. You weren't just using songs for support. They were constant, and each song had its own unique
Stormblood
effect,
Bard
while
is
still
probably
providing
the
a
most
small
fun.
crit buff to the party
That's
at all
fair.
times if you were playing at your best. It wasn't as easy to play anymore, but hey, the old playstyle was getting stale anyway. It did make a bad bard even more obvious than before. Now if a bard sucked, they really sucked. And in Shadowbringers, you no longer have that 2% crit buff to soften the blow. Actually, if you were with a bad enough bard, it's not like you'd get that crit buff anyway. The best way I can describe Bard's playstyle is, it's a little weird. Kinda hard to understand the thought process that went behind it. Battle voice doesn't buff you, it only buffs your party, so
Yeah,
I
that
guess
was
bards
so
hate
fucking
the
weird.
sound of their own voice. Finally, a relatable Final Fantasy XIV job.
Oh my
And
God,
as for
kinda.
those songs, they can be cool and all, but they have some rough quality of life issues.
In 2.0 originally, Bard actually lost DPS whenever they were singing. I thought that was really stupid. That was one thing that really made the original Bard suck. And I never understood it, because you could use Foe's Requiem, and Foe's Requiem wouldn't make you lose DPS. I thought the tools that they used to have for like TP management and MP management with Bard, it made it feel bad to actually do something useful for your party. So I think that's why Stormblood made so much sense and like it felt good. It's because you were actually helping your party. The only shitty part about it was that you battle voice and the songs just didn't work like on yourself. I don't think I will ever understand why they made that decision. Divine Fail feels the same way in Paladin. Yeah, it's like that little bit of extra stuff. I'm sorry, that's not gonna break the balance. Like, you're not gonna all of a sudden choose Bard over Dancer because of the fact that they got their own battle voice, right? I'm sorry, that's not balanced. That's just it just doesn't make sense to me. War Shake It Off works. I know. See, that's the thing. Is like, why does it work for everyone in War's case? Yeah, exactly. It's like I think they've fixed most of that stuff. The Divine Veil in Endwalker is going to fix that, I believe, right? From what I heard, maybe it's not, but at least battle voice works on Bard now, right? So
Ever played a job that gets so excited it creates too much of a good thing at one time? Welcome to Mage's Ballad, which procs Bloodletter way too much. They finally
It's so
changed
fucking
Bloodletter
cool,
to have
though.
2 charges like the player base was asking, so this would be less of a
I'm so
problem,
happy
but
about that change.
judging by this footage, it's still an absolute mess of lost DPS. I love this community. We can't even fix our own issues. I, for one,
It's a
appreciate
mess
the fact
because
that we
they're
have a
probably
low
not used to
collective
playing
IQ.
Bard.
Ever played a job that has a section of the rotation you just want to get out of as soon as possible from both a DPS and fun factor perspective? Hello, Army's Payon.
Army's
Payon
Payon sucks, yeah.
A song that increases your skill speed but caps out at 4 notes, which makes it feel very, very bad compared to the other songs in your rotation. Ever played a job that's complete RNG as to whether your big damage skill is actually going to give you big damage or just okay damage? Hello, Wanderer's Minuet. Why does it feel like Bloodletter procs 69 times during Mage's Ballad, but I sometimes struggle to get 3 of you in one freaking use? Ever wanted a skill that's useless in 99% of situations? Say no more. Still no AoE Bane, so enjoy spreading your dots over and over again to proc Brain of Death for another 2 years. With the summoner changes, Bard is pretty much the new dot class, but they refuse to acknowledge them as such. I'm low-key convinced this is just the job of RP fanatics. They're so committed to their own internal lore and headcanons that they refuse to embrace change. I admire their dedication, but I wish they would just break up with their abusive ex already. It's not healthy, and we're all worried about you, my guy.
Look, if you're a Bard main still, I have to agree with her. Like, your main purpose is just to do performance. Or you did, you know, T, and for some reason T, I don't know the math behind it. A lot of people find that playing Bard in T is better because there's multi-dot ability, like with multi-targets. Like, you have the hands at the hand plus Living Liquid at the start, and then you have Brute Justice plus Cruiser Chaser, and then you have the other section where Cruiser Chaser and Brute Justice come back. Like, that's the only reason Bard is super potent, I think, in T. Nature's Mind is still useful with Scholar's Crit Adlo. I forget what Nature's Mind does because I haven't played with Bard in so fucking long.
You know what they say about siblings. The youngest gets everything they want, the middle gets halfway ignored, and the oldest is expected to survive by photosynthesis alone. Well, the ranged siblings are no exception. Make no mistake, the dev team is full of simps. Because when little Dancer came along, Yoshi P said to himself, "Sweetie, I'm gonna give you everything you want, everything you need. You will never want for anything,
Except for
darling.
nipples."
Cherish the thought. You are unique. Nothing that belongs to you can belong to anyone else.
Makoto
And then
doesn't
he
have
ripped
nipples.
90% of the support away from Bard and gave it to Dancer. But better. Now in Shadowbringers, when Bard sings only for itself. Ah yes. When I think of Bard, I think of a selfish man who sings Staying Alive under his breath to make himself more powerful. That is true class fantasy S tier. Amazing work, guys. Hack it up. No one else can compete. I'm probably not the only person who loved Stormblood Bard and played it frequently, only to turn into someone who forgets the job exists in 5.0. And I'm not the only one who forgets. Say what you will about class meta, it's true that Bard is fine from a damage standpoint, but the numbers don't lie. If it weren't for the meme status Moncast, Bard would be the least popular job as of right now. Everyone can tell that the class is missing something, and I mean, yeah, it's missing its heart. I was excited for Dancer's release, and yes, self-exposed, besides Samurai, it is my DPS main, but that doesn't...
Like, the reason is because, like, what if you're playing Dancer, that's where you're getting the buffs from, right? Like, that gives you buffs. So why would you play something that just gives you less buffs and less damage? You're either going to play Machinist, where it gives you the maximum amount of damage that you can do in the range class, or you're going to go the full other way and get the maximum amount of buffs you get from Dancer. I don't feel like there's this, like, middle child, like, shit that's going to work out. I mean, maybe they'll surprise us in Endwalker.
Doesn't mean I wasn't salty that Daddy gave more attention to the new baby than he ever did to me. It feels like there are people who care about Dancer and Machinist on the dev team, but I'm not so sure about Bard. I think they get
They're probably
confused
bored
on
of
what they're
it.
gonna do with it every single expansion, which is weird. Maybe that's just what they do with dot jobs. That's why Summoner kept changing every expansion, and now it actually is a Summoner. Maybe Bard is next. You're the one who came up with the wacky half Bard, half Archer thing. Now commit, cowards. Figure it out.
It's gonna be, this is what's gonna happen. The next expansion, not Endwalker, right? Bard is gonna become just buffs. You're literally gonna sit there and play songs. So you're actually gonna have to perform and create your own songs. And if you put in the right combinations like DDR, then you'll get better buffs. Do you want the full Bard experience? No more arrows. We're taking away those fucking arrows. You're just getting instruments from here on out. It's going to be Final Fantasy XI Bard, okay? You want to make music? You want to sit in Limsa and play all the music? Fine. You're a pure buffing class. And everyone's going to want you, but you're going to hate your job so fucking much that you'll never want to play it. But everyone's still going to want you in that spot, by the way. And that's exactly how Final Fantasy XI went.
So, is Bard good? Yes. Is Bard bad? Also yes. Is it okay? Yes. No. Maybe? It seems like the Bard discourse is composed of two opposing groups, with people who used to play Bard on the left and people who currently main Bard on the right. The former mains think it's incomplete and scuffed, and the current mains will defend it to their dying breath. For example, I can only hope that this comment is sarcasm. The masochism displayed here almost makes me feel bad for leaving Scholar. Endwalker is giving us back the buff identity, kinda. The new skill seems a little bit odd. The balance kids are gonna have to do all the actual math, and I'll come back later to reap the benefits of that knowledge after contributing nothing at all to
I
the
don't quite
board.
understand
And
that shit.
honestly, if you don't like Bard now, 6.0 is unlikely to change your mind. They've decided the state of Monk is so dire that it's fine to put Bard players on the back burner. You just have to hope that these Monk changes work out, because right now, it looks like it's just gonna get reworked every 2 years while Bard collects more and more dust. Awesome.
Monk has had way too many changes. I don't understand. Like, they have gone all over the place with Monk trying to fix it. I don't know if they're ever going to get it right. Like, they couldn't even get it right when Monk's expansion, like, was happening. Dragoon ended up being the poster boy through Heavensward into Stormblood. And then, for whatever reason, at the very beginning of Stormblood, they buffed Dragoon because Monk and Samurai were actually not like bad in comparison to like the DPS of a Dragoon right at the beginning of Stormblood. But at the raid patch, they just gave Dragoon so many fucking buffs because people were complaining about it. And I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, because they basically made Dragoon God status the rest of the expansion after they did all those buffs. But yeah, the one thing I will say about Monk, the Annotment opener was the reason why I refused to play Monk for a very, very, very long time. Because you basically had to have a third-party tool to pull it off properly. Like, you could probably get good at it, but the fact that you had to have something that would almost do it for you is fucking stupid. I'm sorry, that was like the worst period of time for Monk ever. That was fine to fix. And I understand why they did what they did for that. But you should never have to be at a point where you're using a third-party tool to max out your DPS like that on Monk.
Well, maybe 7.0, huh? Here's to another expansion of blue balling. And now I must make a confession, gamers. I think I'm personally responsible for the Endwalker delay. I was lying to myself. Told myself that I was just imagining the clear signals Square Enix was sending to me. But I can deny the truth no longer. I think Endwalker getting delayed was a message from Yoshi P that he wanted this video to happen. He said, listen, the symbolism will be great. YouTube doesn't know you're a hypocrite. They don't know that you used to be a here girl archer that turned into a Mikote after seeing the slash joy emote. But I do. I know everything about you, Lucy, and I won't rest until everyone else does too. And I
just want to say, there was a few videos ago that I watched of hers, and I said that everyone switches from here into a Mikote, and I know she's probably switched to a boy Mikote. It doesn't matter. It's the same effect. The here is a template. Unless you go to Highlander, of course. But if you're a midi, one day, you will use a Fantasia. No matter how hard you think you can push it off and how cool you think your midlander is, you will one day switch off midlander to maybe a highlander. That's fine. But you will not stay forever a midlander. No one stays a midlander forever.
Said, Mr. Yoshi P? Sir? How did you get in my room? How did you get inside of an anime? Why are you doing this? And then he was like, shh. Honey, just let it happen. For legal reasons, that was just a nightmare, and I stand here before you a better woman because of it. In conclusion, we stand at the edge of a new expansion, but Bard only stands at the edge of a cliff, and they're so eager for attention, they're about to do a flip. Now back to ignoring these minstrels exist and getting hyped for Endwalker in 9 days for real this time. Boys,
7
no
days.
more Sagi, no more Scholar Copium, only hype. And of course, it's Bard this time, so no rapping. I'll be singing you a sweet little song instead. Psych. Thought I wouldn't rap? Don't get yourself, brat. Excuse me for a snap, cause I'm here to spit facts, no cap. I'm on a journey all the way back before I walk to the end, cause I gotta close the gap. The parts are feeling trapped, not the EDM crap. The devs are giving scraps, leaving all the kids trapped. Each expansion is another mishap. God balls say that's a wrap. Yo, cut the track. Need you to throw these kids a bone, or the misfit monks won't be sitting alone. It's not too late, you can still atone before the Bard shoot drive-by errors in your home. Let me get Yoshi P on the phone. He's the real MC, he understands my tone. Now I'm serious, mister, better give a loan, or they'll tie you down to the ERP throne.
Holy shit, that was a long one. I'm impressed that she can do that for every single video. She even does that for her Pokemon videos. I'm really, really impressed. How can one person have so much talent? I know. It's pretty freaking ridiculous. She's really, really good at videos. I'm really, really impressed. It ties up the video with a nice rap. True. Fashion report rap. I'm sorry, but I can't rap worth a shit. I'm not musically inclined. I'm not even creatively inclined, okay, guys? Like, let's be real. I'm fucking washed up at playing Dragoon. I'm washed up at being creative. All my creative juices went away. When you get to Boomerhood, it's gone. You're fucked.